Well, it's a new year. Welcome back. We've been a bit absent lately because been very busy. It gets that time of the year, lots of stuff to do, family, etc. But we're back in the shed over the Christmas break. Might get some extra days in, so we've done a little bit but nothing major. This development here is for extracting the heat from the turbo. So the theory is that's going to go on there.
It'll be made of aluminium, not cardboard, but you've got to start somewhere. And it won't have that in there. That'll mount there. We'll make a rubber grommet to go around here to bolt on to fill that up. And the theory is that all of the air that escapes the engine bay will go up through here, so it should drag the hot air, and also hot air rises, so it should drag the hot air out of there. So we'll start off with this is the only exit for the air out into here, so when the lid comes down there will be a mating flange. We've got to cut this off at the right height. I've got to work that out yet. And in this here there will be a corresponding hole, same size, 100 by 100 square in here, with a flange on it, flange on there, a bit of seal around there, and when the lid's shut that will vent into here. On the other side of the lid will be a riser that goes to within about I don't know, 15 mil of the top there, so if any water comes in through the holes in the back it can't get back down into the engine bay. So that's the theory at the moment.
And the reason we're doing that is because we haven't water jacketed our turbo housings. Didn't really want to weld to our Garrett turbos.
No.
So we'll try this first and see what happens.
Yeah, so that'll be our only exit point for air, so that should drag all the air, so we should get a Venturi effect through those holes as we're motoring along, in theory, and that should pull the air out. If it doesn't work, we can add more. And the other thing we want to do is, because that back end is reasonably open, we want to be able to evacuate any water that gets in there. So I was just looking at that now. So we bought some more skin fittings, just trying to work out where they might go. That fits there nicely actually. But that's going to end up coming from in here somewhere at each side, go back out and back out through the...
So there'll be funnels that it meets as well, so there'll be a tube in here and then a funnel down here, so when it closes it'll be within inside the funnel.
And any water that comes in will go out and go outside the boat, not into it. So I'm just trying to nut that out at the moment.
Yes,
Bit of mucking about.
while he's doing that, we've decided originally we were going to have our ECUs mounted up here because they have a Bluetooth sender in it, so we can connect our tablet up that's in here and show all our engine vitals and what have you. But now we've decided that we will put the ECU into our electrical box. And because it's an aluminium closed box, we're not sure the Bluetooth will escape and be able to connect properly. So what I'm doing is I've pulled the ECU apart, and these are the little Bluetooth senders. So we're soldered on there, and that's the wires. So Jared from Micro Squirt added these in for us. So I'm gonna, obviously I've desoldered it. I'm going to drill a hole in the side of here, put a grommet in, and we're going to run the wire for that from the box all the way up to the dash and have it right there behind the dash. So hopefully we get good connectivity to our ECU through Bluetooth. What else do we do? I started doing some wiring. I wired the plugs on the ends of the pump, and that is the valve for the sand trap, so I started doing a bit of that. Most of our lines are all plumbed but not completely cleaned up yet, so we're getting good. Slowly chipping away, slowly is the word. Started the trailers as well, I'll show you that. So there's 2 trailer kits here at the moment. So there's all our pieces. I've tacked up and welded some of them, but I've run out of wire and I haven't sorted it out because I'm slack, so I'll get some wire hopefully within the next week. But while I wait for that, they're not necessary because we haven't finished these yet. So while I wait for all the shops to open again, we'll get back onto this and finish it off hopefully. I say that, but it never happens.
That's why I get there.
Yes. So I'll carry on. I'll show you what I'm up to on the ECUs. So I'm going to chuck this, and that's going to go around there, join it to the wire, and come out the side here. Look at these new bad boys. Christmas present. It's nice to have a decent drill. We had Milwaukee, but as everyone probably knows, the Milwaukee triggers bugger out on them. So now we're going to try DeWalt. I do like this stuff though. So it's no longer waterproof, but with our grommet, and then later on we will silicone it all up, just in case water gets into our watertight electrical box.
It's only as good as the seal.
That's right. So we'll give that a bit of a clean up. So we'll chuck this grommet in so it's nice and small, and when the cable's in there it should clamp around it. Or is that the big one? No, we'll use this one so it's nice and small. It's tight getting it in though, but that's what you want. So I've got some 4-core wire that I'll use to run to the front of the boat.
Is it tinned?
It is tinned. It is pre-tinned wire, because you want tinned wire because it's protected better from water, etc. Marine applications. So chuck that in. What? So there's the grommet in the housing, and then we'll pull a piece of wire through. So I'll grab that. Here's the end of our wire.
Right angle drill.
No, I don't. So here's our 4-core wire. Not the same colours, but I'll write it down. And we'll join it to these wires here. So I'm going to try and get it through this gland. It's going to be tight. So I did actually have another video to put out, but unfortunately I recorded it all in slow motion. I probably could have sped it up, but I'll just start a new one. So as you can see there, it's quite tight getting through there, so that should help with keeping the water out. And then we'll put some silicone around it once we're done. So there we go. I don't need your silicone spray now, I've got it in there. So there we go. So what I'll do now is I'll join these wires together, write down a code, solder them together, put some heat shrink on them. Yeah. Run the Bluetooth module right to the dash. So I'll button that back up and we'll look at mounting it in the electrical box. So there's our finished extension, I suppose. I just left lots of wire on it until we work out where it's actually going to be placed, the little Bluetooth module. We'll get a plastic box for that to go in. So now I'm just going to mount this inside our electrical box, and I will probably use this piece of aluminium here, and we'll cut it out and mount it to it so it's up vertical like that, and put the ECU on the other side, just so the plug goes into it like that and it sits like that. We use our little rubber feet, rubber isolators to isolate some of the vibration. So I'll do that, I think. So there it is. So we got the backing plate and then the isolators, rubber isolators there. And then when we chuck it in the box, we'll just bolt it down to the gear plate like that. So we can plug the cables in straight on. So there it is, the bracket. I added some more weight reduction in there, and then put our homemade dimple die in it. We'll just press some dimples so it looks cooler. So that goes on there, and then I'll chuck the ECU on. Beautiful. So about an hour of studying where we're going to put everything, come up with this layout. So there's our ECU, and that will run out the side of the box here around, and then up the engine into the back side there where all, most of the stuff is. That's our wideband controller, so we'll mount that on the back of there. Those are our two solenoids for our hydraulic pump for the trim and reverse bucket. So they can go there. Put a joiner block in the middle, so anything we need to join onto, say, this map sensor, we can go through this block. There's our fuel water methanol injection controller, and relays and fuse block. So we've got everything laid out. It looks like a lot of space, but I think by the time you get lots of wires going through here and everywhere, it will fill up quite fast. But there's plenty of room to work with there. So I'm going to screw all that down on both boxes. So I've started the wiring, and this is our wiring diagram we have so far. So I'm just going to do them side by side. So I've got the fuse boxes and the relay boxes, and I'm just going to wire up these bits here. So the main relay, the fuel pump relay, then the relay in for the bilge pumps. So far I've got the wire going to the map. I've left them long because once it's all sorted, then we can trim them and make sure they look good. But these are our controllers for our wideband, and we're getting all this sorted, starting with all the relays and the wiring for that. So we're done for another weekend, but we're going to work some extra days over the holiday break because I've got another week off, or another week and a so off. So what we got done this weekend is the old man's got his ducts cut out of aluminium, and I've tack welded them together, so that's where it goes, and that's what vents all the heat from the turbo out of the back of the boat. And this is what I've been doing, wiring. So I've wired in so far the main relay, the fuel system relay, that's all these wires, so that's for the bank 1, bank 2 fuel injectors and the fuel pump, and that's the next one is for the water methanol injection, is that circuit there. So I've done basically that and added another relay on for that. I have to do the automatic bilge, manual bilge, and look at if we're going to use a relay for the sand trap actuator, if once it's full, we press the button and empty it. So I have to work out if I'm going to do that, because it might be alright just to run that through the switch instead of a relay. Yes, I've been doing this for like the last 2 days, well, working out this and mounting all this stuff in the box. So everything's nicely mounted. I put the wideband controller on the back of the ECU mount, so that looks good. So yeah, I'm not going to show you a lot of this because it's just tedious wiring. I am crimping and soldering because we don't want them coming apart, so that's taking a little bit more time. So yeah, we've reached, I think it's 600 subscribers now. We passed 500. I was going to do another video, but obviously I lost the footage. Well, I didn't lose it, it was in slow-mo, so I didn't do anything with that footage. It wasn't much anyway. Yeah, so I'll put out another video in probably next week of the stuff we've been doing during the week, or I might save it till the end of the holiday and do another bigger episode. So yeah, we'll catch you later.